Weaponeer here, and this is going to be a review on Spot. Now, Spot is a satellite personal tracker, but basically it's a satellite tracking device for a person. So if you can see that, I'll hold it still so it can focus in a little bit better for you. But as you can see, this right here is the easiest way to explain it is this right here is a lifeline if you ever need to call for help. This is better than I've fallen and I can't get up button. This one right here works on satellites, so it's not dependent. Okay, everybody says, well, if I get in trouble, I'll just use a cell phone. And in a lot of cases you can, but in some cases, poor weather conditions or no reception because there's no tower around can make it so you can't call for help. Well, this one can. All you have to do is have a clear view of the sky. In other words, I can't call for help on the inside because this is a little satellite transceiver, and it has to have a view of the sky in order to find the satellites. It's like trying to use a GPS indoors. They don't work very well. Now, this is the first model. This is the big one, and it's got a lot of points that I like and a lot of points that I don't like. Now, as far as all the reviewers that have reviewed this little bugger here, or the Spot line, whichever ones, go ahead and ask if any of the other reviewers have ever actually pressed the button. I have. Mine has 3 buttons, and one is, well, actually it's got 4 buttons. You can see 4 buttons, but mine has, it's got the on and off switch. So you press it and it'll come on, the green light will come on, and that's basically saying that it's ready. And then you have an OK, which is right here. And the OK button basically says, when you press that, it actually sends an email to people that you want that says, this is where I am, and it shows them on a map exactly where you're located on the planet. It doesn't matter to US or anywhere. Anywhere on the planet, this will go ahead and track it. And it'll say, I'm here and I'm okay. So I can imagine a lot of the soldiers use this. If I was in, I would have been using it, because I could have gone ahead and said, click, I'm okay. I'm fine today, click. Yeah, I'm fine today. The only bad thing is, number one of the worst things about this one here is the color. It works great for a rescue device, but they should have offered it also in like an OD, because it would have been better for troops. I'm sure that the troops that did carry this went ahead and OD'd it or something. The other portions of this is a help button and a 911. Now on mine, I paid for everything when I went ahead and subscribed, so I had all the options. So the help button was this Spot Assist enabled for help. Use help for roadside assistance. And basically, if you have a flat tire, run out of gas, whatever, you can go ahead and press that help button, and they're going to go ahead and send help to you. If you are having an emergency, or if you're lost, you're stranded someplace, any kind of health reasons, you're for some reason you're out in the middle of the desert and you don't have any water and you need help. Well, you can press the 911 button and they basically send the helicopters for you. So that's the good thing. Another bad thing was the way it attached. I would have liked to have had at least this is okay as long as they provided a means for a case that would still allow this thing to be used. If it had a case for it that had Molly, then that right there would fix most of the problems with it. It's got basically a rubber gasket around the outside of it. As you can see, that black section is basically a rubber section in case you drop it. It's not going to go ahead and shatter into a billion pieces. If you want to go ahead and press and hold the OK button, what happens is it'll go ahead and say, I'm here on the map, and it'll keep on saying, and I'm here and here and here and here. As you walk along the trail, it actually shows your position on the map along that trail. Now, this does not have a screen. This is not a GPS. This does not have a screen that says, I am here. This shows you nothing. What it does is shows your family that, you know, I'm taking a hike through the Grand Canyons, and it's a 3-day hike. So you go ahead and you place it on track, and it'll show on the map exactly where you're at. So if the family goes ahead and wonders why you haven't contacted them in a couple days, and it shows you, parked in front of a bar or something like that, well, they're probably not going to get as worried if they hadn't seen your spot move in a couple of days. Then they'd probably get worried and go ahead and contact the authorities, and they know exactly where to go. Now, I should restate, this is a GPS. It just does not show you any kind of screen. Since this is a GPS, it's doing a track that way between several different satellites. And so, onto the other part of the review. I have pressed the button. I pressed the help button, which is road assistance. Now, it has to be a big deal for me to go ahead and press road assistance. One day, my vehicle died, and it was me and the dog inside the vehicle. Now, tried to start it, nothing. I got it to move like 10 feet, and after that, nothing. It would not start for nothing, and I was stranded for 4, 5, 6 hours. And I thought, enough of this. It's not going to come back to life. So I figured I paid for the service. I paid for everything, the max. And so I went ahead and I pressed the help button. I'm like, okay, any minute now. And I waited, and I waited, and I waited, and I waited, and I waited. And about 3 hours later, what the hell? I pressed it again. And I waited and waited and waited and waited and waited. 16 hours had passed that I was stranded. And I decided that I got to go ahead and see if I can get this vehicle going. So I went ahead and I worked on the vehicle with basically no tools. And I was able to finally get it going. I got it running. And I drove home. I was stranded for 16 hours and I drove home. And then I was pissed off. I sent these people an email. I didn't want to talk to them because there'd be a lot of yelling and screaming, and it would have dealt with a whole bunch of 4-letter words. So I just didn't want to talk to them. I basically told them what the deal is, and that I used the satellite tracking device, and I called for help, and help never came. And they went on and on and on and on and on. And the whole problem was this is supposed to go ahead and locate you. And this is supposed to tell them you are here on the map, and they're supposed to go ahead and come and rescue you. So if I was, I got property in Nevada, out in the middle of no place. I got 40 acres in the middle of no place, high desert. If I was out there and I pressed that 911 button or the help button or whatever, what's the chances of them finding me 2 hours in the middle of no place? The reason I got this was for that reason. If I was stranded someplace, like basically on the property, and if I needed help, had a heart attack or something like that, I wanted to make sure people could find me because there's no cell service there. So I was going to use this for my safety. Now, when I did press the help button, I pressed it basically locally. And you know where I was? Where they couldn't find me? At 3 o'clock in the morning? I was in a Walmart parking lot. They couldn't track my ass in an empty Walmart parking lot. That right there, that's why it really ticked me off. If they couldn't find me in a Walmart parking lot 3 o'clock in the morning, how in the heck are they going to find me 2 hours in the middle of no place? So that right there was extremely disturbing to me. And they're like, well, we'll pay for this and we'll pay for that. And how are you going to prove that you bought anything if you don't have, the receipts? In a situation like that, you're not worried about receipts and things like that. You're trying to save your ass and get back home. So they went on and on and on and on, and it was like, well, maybe you didn't have service and all this. Yeah, I did. It was on automatic renewal. So yeah, they tried all the excuses, and I actually showed them. I went ahead and I took their map that you can go ahead and you can see where people are. I used their map, and I put a dot right in the middle where it said I was, and I emailed them that map, and there's nothing they could say. I was right there, and right there in that parking lot, right where that dot said, I was within 5 feet of that dot. And they basically went ahead and stated that, well, in that case, originally they would go ahead and they'd say, okay, in this coordinates, which is, it was a Walmart parking lot, there's someone there that's needing help. They didn't bother telling them who, and they didn't provide them with the map showing where to look in the parking lot that was basically empty. So they basically stated that they changed that now they go ahead and they provide those details. I do not know if they do. Would I like to have the newer models? Probably, because I still had the property. Do I trust them? No, I do not. It comes down to, if you're going to go ahead and get yourself into a situation where you need to ask for help, you better be able to help yourself. Number one, don't trust this. Don't trust a cell phone. Don't trust anyone but yourself to get you help. If you have one of these, you press that button, you can just go ahead and think, well, they may come and get me. But until that time, I got to get my ass out of here. So that's basically my review on the Spot. They never did offer to go ahead and get me like a new version or anything like that. And had they, I probably would have given them a better review, because they really blew it. I mean, as far as satellite tracking device, it's supposed to save your butt, and having paid the money for it and stuff like that, and they didn't save my butt, I was ticked off. So I'm the one person that they didn't save. I don't know, maybe it was planned. Who knows? But like I said, it's a good device. The hardware worked perfectly. It's the software in the company that didn't work. Now, so this device is a good device. The newer, smaller versions are a good device. The hardware works. Hardware contacts the satellite and sends distress and okays and things like that. It does do that. Can you trust the people on the other end that's supposed to go ahead and initiate the help for you? I don't know. I really cannot answer that question, because the only experience I've ever had with using one of these for real didn't turn out real well. I was able to save my own ass and stuff like that, and that's not what I should have been using. So I don't know. They went ahead and stated that had I pressed the 911, they would have tried harder. The whole deal was that when it went off the first time, they went ahead and they supposedly said they sent a cop, and the cop didn't go in the parking lot. He just kind of drove by, and so there was failure there. When I reinitiated the help, that's when they failed me the second time, because they ignored the signal the second time. So when I reinitiated it at 5 o'clock in the morning, they did nothing. So hardware works. Good hardware. Software, I think as far as letting your family know and stuff like that, had I went ahead and pressed that, my family would have been notified. Had I had family, the family would have been notified, or friends would have been notified. But now I don't have that situation, so that right there, family and friends could have saved me, but didn't. And so, is this worth it? It's a good backup, is what I will say. It's a good backup. This one right here is too big, it's too wide, it's too fat, it's too tall. I worry about accidentally pressing the buttons to either turn it on or turn it off. Battery life is good. I've had this over a year on the same battery, still working strong. And it still tracks perfectly. When I go out someplace and I press the track button, it goes ahead and shows me. Sometimes when I go for long walks, and 3-mile walks or something like that with a dog, and I'll take this because the dog might make it back and I might still be back there someplace. So I can always go ahead and at least try to call for help. So there you go. That right there is my review on the Spot. It's the satellite personal tracker. My experience with it was less than perfect. They stated that they fixed the problems. So maybe I helped save somebody else's ass or something. But it didn't save mine. Like I said, yeah. Would I use a newer one? Yes, I would. I don't even know if this one's still active because it goes on credit card, and I don't even know if it has the current credit card. I got to look that up. It was active. I never turned off the service. So there you go. That's the Spot personal tracker. This is a great EDC item as far as letting your family and stuff like that know where you're at, and whether or not you're okay and stuff like that. That part works perfectly. It's just the help me function. 911, I don't know. I didn't press the 911 because I didn't feel like I was dying, and I didn't want to go ahead and have ambulances and stuff like that show up when I can't get the car started. It's just me. No, there you go. That's the Spot. I'm Weaponeer. Don't forget to subscribe. Please go ahead and use the rate buttons, and I'll catch you in the next video. Probably going to be another review. Yes, as a matter of fact, it is going to be another review. I got camera reviews as well as gear reviews. I got a flashlight and a knife to go ahead and review. Several other things. So I got plenty of piles of stuff to go ahead and review yet. And if you have any comments or questions about anything you would like to review, also put that down there. I'm Weaponeer, and I'll catch you in the next video. What you want? Come on.